Hello crafters, I'm JanB and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I'm going to show you how I made this card, which I shared on my blog 3 days ago. It's not a fancy fold or anything, but it is showing you a couple of techniques. The main technique being the masking to get the plums so that they don't disappear with the branches. I don't know if they are plums, they're probably leaves I imagine, but done this colour they do look like plums, and that's, to me, they're plums. I did do one other. This one, the cardstock, the main card is shaded spruce. The plums are rich raspberry, but the cardstock that's underneath the white one, that's blackberry bliss. And this one, the plums are gorgeous grape, and it's gorgeous grape lining underneath, layer rather, and inside I did just stamp one of the plumes of plums, but I didn't get around to doing it on that side. It can be done after you've put your layers in, but it's a bit of a fiddle. I will get around to doing it sometime, but we'll see. So first of all, the card pieces that you're going to need. If you saw my video last week, you will know that I said that I'm not going to give the American sizes and the metric sizes all at the same time, because a new crafter the previous week had got in touch with me and she said she found it really confusing. And I said that on my video last week, and somebody else contacted me and she said yes, she agrees, she finds it very confusing. So I'm only going to give you the A4 measurements here, but in the box below there will be metric and there will be the US sizes as well. So what you need is shaded spruce. You need a card base that's 8 1/4 inches by 5 3/4 inches, scored and folded at 8 1/4 inches. You need 2 pieces of Merry Merlot, which measure 3 7/8 inches by 5 1/2 inches. And you need 2 pieces of Whisper White, which measure 3 3/4 inches by 5 3/8 inches. So these are the 2 pieces that we're going to be working on. Now I know that some of you are going to throw your hands up in horror, because you do need to make some masks for your plums. I've already done mine. Normally I only do 2, but I thought if I did 3, then it would just make it a lot easier. I don't have to concentrate on this side and then move one of these over to the next side. Also, this idea came about because I was thinking, what's an easy way of keeping track of these, because they finish up getting broken like this. Okay, because it's only held together by that very, very thin bit, it's very easy to break. And I thought, you know, as I'm stamping over it, I can't remember which bits went with which one. So I thought if I use 3 different colours of post-it notes, then if they get separated, I know which bits belong to which. Right, so I've done that in advance, so you're not going to have to watch me do 3. I will just do 1. Now I've got a partial sheet here. Stamp sets I'm using are Forever Fern, and I'm using that one which I'm calling plums, and that one which I'm calling leaves, which I'm probably right about. I'm not doing it for the video, but for my own use. I also did masks for that one as well as that one and that one, and what I do is I keep them on the inside of my lid. When I first did this card, I did it so that I stamped the leaves first and then the plums, but I found it was easier to do the plums first. Okay, so that's Forever Fern. I will also be using Beautiful Friendship for Birthdays Are the Best Days. And the only thing that I'll be needing my Big Shot for is to do the actual embossing here. So first of all, let's do the stamping. And it doesn't matter what colour you do your masks with, and I do think you need minimum of 2. When we start stamping this, we're going to be covering that little bit up. So you need to have 4 masks, and what I do is, in fact, I will leave that one there, and because I stamp my plums first, I can put my bits of tape on there. So that's 1. And I always fold a bit over because it makes it so much easier to pull it off. That one's a bit short, but that's all right, it'll work. Alright, okay, let's just take the little one to start with. And then all I'm doing is covering up the bottom stem, but not the leaves. Okay? So if I use my Merry Merlot, let's move my paper out of the way so I don't get that dirty. Oops, I thought that was a bit short. Let's see if I can move that over a bit. There we go. So you will see on here that that's almost a straight line down on this outside here. So I line that up on my post-it note there. And the only reason I'm putting this on now, it doesn't matter if I stamp that bit, but I just want to keep that part of the stamp clean. Okay, and I do recommend that you have something to put your rubbish in when you take these off. The last thing you want is to be fiddling around finding somewhere to put that, because that will stay wet for a little while. So I'm just going to pop that on there. Now I won't fussy cut all of it, but I just want to explain little bits about it to you. There we go. Now because I blocked off that bit of the stem there, it saves us having to cut it. So what I do is I start round like this, and it is best if you cut some of your colour off. So let me just show you that bit first. You see that I've left colour on here, ink on there, and that's because when you stamping on one piece of paper down onto another, you've got a very, very small ridge there, and that's what causes these white gaps there. I should really have cut that a bit further in so that the green would have come further. But it doesn't matter. I mean, overall it doesn't spoil the look of it because I've missed it on 3 places, 4. Overall it still looks really good. I'm still happy with it. So okay, we don't need the branches, but rather than having loads of individual bits, it's better to cut them and leave them in there. But because if you do use different colours, then it's quite easy to decide which ones belong to which. Okay, so what I do is I go round trying to leave a bit of the ink there, and I try and keep the stem bit as narrow as possible. Just checking that I am in the mirror, in the camera rather. Okay, so you can see how much I've left there. So I'd carry on going all the way round there, and then when I come down to this bit here, I finish off round that one. And then I would cut round that bit inside there as well. Again, cutting the edge of the ink off. But let's cut that bit off for a moment. It'll make it easier for you to actually see. Okay, I haven't been absolutely precise with it, but that will help it to stamp, allow the leaves to stamp really nicely around the plums. Okay, as I say, I'm not going to make you watch me do a complete one of those. Let's get rid of that. So my first piece of paper, my Merlot ink, and I bring back my stamp again. Now this is quite easy, just put this over because I've kept it clean from last time. And I am going to actually follow the pattern that I've done here because I'm happy with the pattern. I think that looks good. Or my layout rather, it's not a pattern. And once you've done that, just pull this bit off, and I'm putting it straight in my bin there. Okay. And this one, let's see if I can get this in the camera for you as well. Okay, so this one here, it's about 1.5 inches in and about 3/4 of an inch down. I'll pull this down towards me a bit. Okay, about 1.5 inches in, about 1/2 inch down, and these almost coming down to that corner. A lot of people don't worry about doing the masking, and they stamp their branches and then they stamp their plums, and it's all done by guesswork and eyes just watching, looking, and they do a beautiful job of it. But mine is an absolute mess. Now the second one is this one here. Now that's going to be coming down the side. I'll see the distance from there to there. So say that's coming down to about here. So that's where I'm going to put this one. Okay. And now the last one, I'm going to put a piece of paper down because I'm going to be coming over the edge. Oh, I forgot to cover that up that time, didn't I? That's what happens when I talk. Okay, let's just clean that. I'll just have to be exceptionally good with placing my leaves to see if I can cover it up. I knew I would do that. You won't be surprised that when I'm sitting here working, playing, whatever, by myself, I talk to myself so I can tell myself, don't forget the mask, the tape. But I can't do that when, or at least I don't feel that I can do that when you're watching. Right, now, there's just a little bit of a gap there between that one coming up, and it's almost at the end here. So it's coming down. It's like these three here and that one. Okay, let's see what we can do. I'll take that one off. Most of that, I think I'm probably going a bit further over, but never mind. They don't have to be identical. There we go. Quite a bit further down. But that's fine. I'm going to put this ink away. Get my shaded spruce. Put that on the outside of my rubbish bin. That can be used again sometime. Right, now I've got my shaded spruce and I have my stamp. So I'm going to put my masks on first. Now you can use your masks several times, as you can see by this, but don't use them more than 2, possibly 3 times in the row, because the more times you use it, the wetter it becomes, and eventually the ink will come through onto your cardstock. I know that because it happened to me. So do be careful of that one. Now when you're doing this, if you find any of these aren't sticking down because they weren't where the sticky was on your post-it note, do use a temporary adhesive to hold it down. If you don't, what might happen is as you stamp over it with the leaves, you might find that it will pull it up and break. That's what it did to one of mine. I was just so surprised when I looked at it and it wasn't there. That's the one that is normally not on sticky, but it is on this one, so that's right. I'm really surprised because as I took my leaf stamp away, I could see that this was correct rather than a piece of this. And I found it on the bottom of the stamp. But that's what happens because I'd used it a few times. It had got very, very wet and it got stuck to the actual stamp. Right, now this, okay, oh, this was another idea that I thought of. If you have different bits and pieces like that, but you don't have different colours post-it notes, you could set yourself, you could stamp, say, 3 of them, and then just put your bits, as you take them off of one plume of plums, put it all onto one, and then the next one, put that onto a separate one. Just different ideas for you. Right, done that. I'm going to ink the stamp, and the stem is going into the, almost in the corner there, and I've got a big leaf there, so that leaf and that leaf are both going off the corners. Okay. These are beautiful stamps because of the like shadowing. I think I haven't taken that quite high enough. Oops, and I tilted it. I hope that went back in place. There we go. Yep. You see, that one I haven't cut enough off. In fact, it's always that one, isn't it? On that one. Oh, I did on that one. But never mind, it's fine. So the next one I'm going to do, while I've still got this down, can you still see that? You see how all the leaves are coming inwards? So that leaf there is the outside one, and these are coming down to about here. And you can't see that. So it's that leaf there. Okay. So we've got that leaf there, that one, and that one there. It doesn't have to be precise, but seeing as how I've done one already, I might as well stick to the pattern that actually works. Let's see if I can give enough pressure so that I don't finish up with the white halos around my plums. That looks brilliant. I can see a couple of areas, but otherwise, no, that's really good. Now, I haven't put anything on there, so I'm not going to use my third one with my tweezers. I'm going to take this one up. You see where I forgot to cover that stem, it doesn't look too bad. Okay, there we go, look. I'm happy with that. You see that one there? Otherwise it looks good. So let's put this onto this one here. There we go. Okay. So let's do this again. And I want the big leaves coming over this bit where it's bound to, because I've done that too high, too low. So I am going to do it like that. Okay, so let's see what happens. Do it a bit higher because I don't want any of the thick stem there. This is one of the very, very few techniques that you can't actually use your Stampin' for. Not unless you've got more than one stamp set, because these are all in different positions. Okay. Well, that looks quite a mess, doesn't it? I'll leave the ink because I want to do my sentiment. So we take this one off. Okay, let's pop that one there, and then this one, again it's got halos. There we go, that one. Let's just put it on there. Okay, so I think that's worked out nicely. I'm quite happy with that. There's quite a lot of white there, but overall that's not going to show. Yes, I'm pleased with that. So what I need to do now is the sentiment. Fortunately it is a photopolymer stamp, so let me see if I can get this straight again. There's not much difference in colour actually, is there? That was Rich Raspberry and this is Merry Merlot. Except to say that's more pinky and this is more red. Right, let me just see how far down I can get this. Oh, that's probably about it. Haven't been in lockdown for so long now. My hair desperately needs doing. Right, okay, please, please be straight. Ooh. Oh wow, look at that. Okay, I'll put that to one side for a moment to dry while I do my other piece of cardstock. Now no, I don't really think I want to do branches and plums in here. I'm happy just to have the plums. Oh no, I don't need to cover that up because I'm going to be coming off the page anyway. Okay. There we go, that's nice. Yep, I'm happy with that. Shall I just show you how I do the stamping in a card that's already been done? I said this was rich raspberry, so excuse me sketching over. Now I need to clean my stamp, and my chamois is brilliant for this. I don't know why, but in the past week or so I've taken to, at the end of the day when I finished my stamping, I finished taking the stamps into the bathroom and just running them under the tap. Leaves them really nice and clean. But why did I start doing that? No idea. Right, so this is the one that needs stamping. So, oh no, that's my fingers. Oh my goodness me, look at that. Oh well, my berries have to, my plums have to go over that side, don't they? Right, let me just get a piece of post-it note, and I don't want this to go on the piece underneath nor the card base, so I am going to line that up there. I wouldn't normally do my decoration on the inside, on the left hand side. Ah, there we go. You can feel whether you've got that off the edge or over the top. It should feel nice and smooth. Okay, now, rich raspberry, just double check. Yep. Now, how, oh my goodness, I have to come quite a long way, don't I, to cover that up. Oh well, it has to be done. Okay. So any little bit that comes over, which is what I would have preferred, like that, should come off onto here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a smaller one this side as well. Seeing as how I've got it all lined up. There we go. Perfect. Nobody would know. So I'm pleased with that. That can go there. So what I need to do now is the embossing, and then I put my card together. That's right. And let me just bring my big shot over. If you're on my newsletter email group, you will have heard that the exclusive Stampin' Up cut and emboss machine will be available to customers to buy on the 1st of September. That is just the main one. The little mini, they are saying it should be available before the end of the year. Right, so enough chat. The embossing folder I'm going to use is the Stampin' Cut and Emboss, which is the name of the machine that's coming out, and it's called Brick-and-Mortar 3D embossing folder. Oops, didn't mean to knock that on the floor. So this is it, and you will find, I don't know how long this has been on the back, but it does tell you on the back here about spraying this with water or putting it on the edge of your table and bringing it, you can't see that, on the edge of your table and bring it down to help break up the fibres so that the cardstock doesn't crack, which it might well do because our embossing folders are so 3D. So what I do is I just spray mine with a little bit of water. Obviously with this amount of space I can't do it in front of you, but if you listen you might hear it go tsk. That nearly missed, but yes, I've got that. Now the front of the embossing folder is the bit where it actually says Stamping Up. So you need to put your cardstock in like that. And when you do spray it with water, don't spray that side because it is a water-based ink. And your plums would be squashed everywhere. Right, okay, let's make sure that's straight. Yes, that looks straight to me. So I've got my regular Big Shot platform, my 3D embossing folder and my 3D embossing plate. Okay, so that's how you get the brickwork behind everything else. Isn't that clever? And look how 3D this is. Look at these. Our embossing folders are absolutely brilliant. Oops. Right, so let me put all this together, and that is our card. Oh, is that what I knocked on the floor? Right, hold on a moment. There we go. That doesn't look right, is that? Yes, it is. That looked too bright for shaded spruce. Let's move that out of the way. My chair is getting stuck on something. Right. So let's do this one first. With Tombow. Feels as if it's getting close to being empty. If anybody has noticed, I've actually got some new tweezers. These are made by Tweezer Man, and they are professional tweezers for beauticians, but they're very nice and pointed, but without being too sharp there. I mean, they're quite sharp, but not as sharp as some that I've had in the past. There we go, there's that one. So this can go inside. And then this one. This does take a bit more Tombow because it's so bumpy. You don't want to take a chance on it coming adrift. There we go. That would look nice that way as well, wouldn't it? But that way you'd have to count them as flowers. And do that the other way round. But yeah, that would look good. Okay, just this bit. I haven't put any embellishments on the front because in my mind's eye I see this as suitable for a masculine card because they're plums, they're not flowers. There we go. See, now that it's all put together like that, the little white halo bits doesn't really matter, does it? Doesn't really show. We know it's there, but nobody else would. So there we go. I hope you've enjoyed today's project, and I hope you give it a try. If you find it any easier, just follow the pattern how I've done it. If you're more adventurous than that, more adventurous than me, please go for it. Anyway, many thanks for joining me today. If you have any comments to make, please leave them in the box below the video. I'm always happy to help you, and I do enjoy reading your feedback. I will put in the box below the measurements for A4, for US and also metric, and I will also make a list of all the products that I've used with a link for each one direct to my online Stampin' Up shop. And if you do place an order with me, please use the June 2020 hostess code so that I can send you free gift with the happy mail that I send out at the end of the month, well, the beginning of the following month really, but I need you to put that on your order. It's right at the very end of the new system, so please don't forget that. If you've enjoyed my video and you would like to be notified each time I upload a new one, please click on the subscribe button down there in the bottom right hand corner, and then click on the bell so that you get the notifications. And before I go, just to quickly tell you two special promotions by Stampin' Up during June. One, if you have a party or if you put a personal order in for over £200 or €270, you get an extra £20 or €27 in Stampin' rewards. And also, if you'd like to join Stampin' Up, whether it's as a savvy shopper so that you get the discount on your shopping, or to be a business builder, on top of the usual for £99 or €129, you get to choose £130 or €175 worth of products from the catalogue. But until 30th of June, you can also choose a free bundle from the new catalogue, and that's either a stamp set and a punch bundle or a stamp set and die bundle, which totally free, totally extra on top of your 130 or €175. It's an amazing offer. If you'd like to take advantage of it, let me know and I can answer any of your questions. Many thanks for joining me today. Until next time, please take care out there, stay safe, stay well, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Cheerio!